Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. We're working on the exhaust on Project Snowball today. I've got a bunch of stuff mocked up, pretty much how it's going to be. I've got it figured out, everything measured, cut, and started to be being welded together. Have to make sure that the stack is going to be plumb. I don't want it canted forward or back or side to side. I cannot stand a canted stack, so I've got it set up already where it's going to be straight and plumb when everything is together. But let me show you what I've got going on here. So if you saw in some of the last videos, this was already on the back of the turbo. It was too long between the bend radius here and the flange. I had to cut another inch out of it because it was just right up against the firewall in that wiring harness. So I wanted to move it forward a bit. So what we're doing is we're coming out of the back of the turbo, down at an angle, and then this 45-degree piece is going to be welded on here, and it's going to come out this way, and it's going to meet this flex joint here. And when it's all together, it actually keeps this just centered in this opening where it's supposed to be. And I'll have to adjust exactly where this pipe sits. When I took all of that out, like when I had it mocked up, I took it out. I had to actually bend this up to get the other piece out, so it's not going to be touching anything in there. Now I really would have loved to have this up higher and tighter. And like if you look at the A3s, their exhaust comes basically through and comes straight forward right here, and then does another 90-degree turn and goes right in here. It keeps it up real nice, high and tight away from the tire, because you got the bigger 14.5 R20s on it, so you got to be able to clear the exhaust. That's not going to be a problem here, even with it hanging a little bit low. But I don't have another elbow. I didn't even think about it when I went and bought parts, and that just would be kind of restrictive. I don't need that. This will work just fine. Doesn't look bad. A whole lot less restrictive than the original multi-fuel J-pipe, and the tire is not going to contact it. If you look down here, look at the bump stop in the frame. There's only maybe 3 inches there from the bump stop to the frame, accounting for compression of the rubber. There's plenty of room between the tire and the exhaust, so that should all be fine. And I may even be able to tweak it a little more when I get it all together and I adjust that where it's going to be. Now, the 4-inch clamp, of course, is wider than the original, was 3.5. It wouldn't fit the holes on the bracket, so instead of trying to drill the other hole out bigger and weld a small piece on here and extend it, I just decided to make another plate for it to raise it up, and I'm going to just bolt it to the original plate. So, should work just fine. I thought I was going to have to space it out with some washers, but it actually turned out, like I said, when it's all together, it's plumb and straight, so I shouldn't have to have, see, that's why I had stacks of washers here. I thought I was going to have to shim it between this bolt and the plate, but that's not the case. So all I've got to do now is, when I get everything, that'll be the last thing I do. When I get everything assembled down here, make sure it's all plumb and square for the final time, I'll drill the 2 holes with my snap-on hand drill just from the back side through, and I'll bolt it, and then I'll take it all apart again to paint it. So that's going to get high temperature header paint, black paint, and the down pipe here all the way to the flex joint at least is going to get a high heat wrap. I got one of those lava wrap things off of Amazon. It was like $12 or something. It was cheap enough. It's 50 foot by 2 inch, so that is more than enough. I was wanting to run a turbo blanket, not for any performance gains, but just to keep the heat off the hood, because the engine heat is actually what ends up fading the hoods on these trucks over time. But I can't find a turbo blanket that'll fit an HX35 with a wastegate on it, wastegate actuator on it. So at least I haven't looked around any more than on Amazon. There's a bunch of $20 up to $75 ones, and none of them have a cutout for that. So I'm sure I could find one for 100, 200 bucks. But oh, old school technology. My CD is skipping. Sweet. Yeah, Van Halen kicking it old school today. Okay, it's gonna keep skipping. Sweet. Next song. Let's just turn that down a bit more. I don't want to irritate you guys with my music if you don't like it. But whatever. So, the high heat wrap. Cool stuff. I like the color. It's not green, but you know, whatever. It's not an off-putting color. Kind of looks tannish, I guess. Came with a bunch of stainless tire wraps. I also got the little tool for it. It's like a $5 tool. Yes, I could have made one, but I mean, why make one out of a good extension when I can just buy one for what, $5? Now I got it. So they did offer this in black as well, but I saw somewhere that the black wraps end up fading. So yeah, just gonna do that. I don't know how far I'll come down with it. We'll see how far that gets, but I know I'm gonna at least do from the back of the turbo down to, you know, this area. I want to protect all my wiring and my starter and all from heat as much as I can. That's not gonna save it from the manifold heat, but where the pipe runs, it actually gets a lot closer than the starter is to the manifold. So help keep underhood temps down a little bit, I'm sure. So we'll see what happens. Got a weather flapper I'm gonna put on it. I really like those weather flappers. Well, say I have a weather flapper. I misplaced it. What a mess, man. I gotta clean this crap up. Well, seriously? I had it like 30 minutes ago. Work. Man, oh man. Okay. You know what a weather flapper is. It's not like I need to, oh, look at here's my weather flapper. Yeah. But I was going to throw it up on there just to see how it looked with you guys. I haven't done that yet. Let's look at the truck from back here. It's coming together. That stack is a little tall. I started with a 50-inch piece of straight. I cut it obviously out of a 10-foot stick, so I've got plenty left over. But I didn't want to come up short, so I knew I needed to cut it a few inches long. When I get the hard top on there and I see where everything is at, because I just can't look at it and visualize exactly where I need to cut it. I don't want to cut it short, I don't want it too long. So that will be the last step on the exhaust, is cutting the top of the stack and putting the weather flapper on at the right height. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing this again. I'm looking around for something that I know I have with you guys on camera, because man, what is wrong with me lately? I lose everything. Okay, whatever. Headlight panel is in the process of being stripped. I was working on that last night and it was time to go in and have dinner, so that's kind of where it stopped. But there it is, hiding little turd. Oh, I pushed the whole stack down. Oops. Yeah. It ain't on there straight either. It's gonna look funky until the rest of the body is back together, but I know I'm gonna be happy with it. So yeah, 4-inch all the way, few bends as possible, all welded. In fact, look here, I cut the original clamping tabs off. I did that on all my pieces, because that way I can just make, you know, one halfway decent weld all the way around instead of having to make a weld around and then, you know, 4 or 6 straight welds. That didn't make any sense. So I just chopped them off. Looks like there's rod bearings laying out there by the vise on the ground. So just little things to make things look cleaner, you know, like putting the bolts on the clamp back behind where you can't see. Just small details or make things a lot better. Anyway, dudes, thanks for watching. Look, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It really helps me out. Check out our sponsors. They're listed in the description below: Big Mike's Motor Pool and RapcoParts.com. Like, we're wearing Big Mike's shirt today, representing. Don't have a shirt from Rapco. Gotta see if I can get one from them. Yeah. Catch you later.